CORD claims that the presidential elections were neither free nor fair, and that no lawful government could be formed from the IEBC declaration of UHURU KENYATTA and WILLIAM RUTO as President-elect and Deputy President-elect respectively. They further claim that the voters' register was altered severally, making it impossible to tell the final register. CORD says that in breach of the legal requirement, the IEBC falsely and illegally declared results of the presidential election that reflected the total number of registered voters as 14,352,533, well above the total number of registered voters as at the final voter registration of 18th December 2012. CORD argues that in February 2013, the IEBC announced that they had discovered approximately 20,000 persons who were double registered in the December registration and accordingly reduced the registration tally to 14,267,572 voters as they played on their website. The illegally inflated March 2013 register exceeded this corrected figure by some 85,000 voters. The petitioner claims that increasing the number of registered voters was intended to manipulate the presidential election and that the eventual results and declaration on 9th March 2013 was null and void. They further argue that by abandoning the process of electronic identification of voters at the polling stations and releasing results based not on the safeguarded, agreed and determined credible electronic process it had promised and committed to, IEBC failed to reflect the will of the Kenyan people at the elections.
My Lord, all that is water under the bridge. We are back to manual tallying. We are back to 2007.
They say arising from the acts and omission of the IEBC, RAILA ODINGA and indeed the people of Kenya were deprived of a free and fair election, devoid of manipulation, an expectation which was denied, thereby undermining the entire process and results. CORD argues that the electronic voter identification device, the BVR system, and the electronic results transmission system adopted by the IEBC were so poorly selected, designed and implemented that they were destined to fail from inception. To the knowledge of the IEBC, the failure and collapse on the polling day so fundamentally changed the system of polling and the number of votes cast, owing to the delays at the polling stations, thereby reverting Kenya to the discredited manual system with all the risks and opportunities for abuse and manipulation which in fact took place. The petitioner claims that the IEBC and its chairman's purported official tally of registered voters mysteriously grew overnight by a large portion on the eve of the elections, notwithstanding that the registration had closed some 30 days before and was by law not permitted to be opened or changed. They further claim that the results were declared and recorded by IEBC contained widespread instances of discrepancies through manipulation of Form 36, and in some instances, the votes cast exceeded the number of registered voters. For JSWAT 7, I'm SHEM Oluchiri.